you ever been to the Philippines, specifically in Luzon Island, in Rizal Province, where there is a beautiful pilgrimage place here in Tanay? It is called the Regina Rica, or this is a pilgrimage place because of the giant statue of Mama Mary, Regina Rosari. And we have here now a nun, one of the sisters of Regina Rosari. And it's very intriguing that she is not just a nun, but she's also a doctor. Let's welcome, with the love of the Lord, Sister MENCHI ADVINCULA.
So, good afternoon. Good afternoon to all our online viewers. Good afternoon. I am Sister MENCHI ADVINCULA.
Sister, you have to tell us why you're a nun and you're also a doctor.
When I entered the Dominican Sisters of the Holy Rosary in Iloilo, the Mother General asked me, when I was already professed, if I like to study medicine. So I said, well, I give it a try, and the sisters were pushing me because I love to take care of old sisters. And so I told her. She said, let's see if what God's call for you is. If you make it, then you're for it. But if not, it's okay.
So you were already professed?
Yes. I entered the Dominican Sisters of the Holy Rosary, become a postulant, I studied, I became a novice. And when I was professed, I was sent to school. But then they said that we will study education. So I studied education, but then in the midterm, the sisters were saying that Mother General is looking for someone to study medicine. And they saw me that I love old sisters, I like to take care of old sisters. So they asked me if why not approach Mother General. So I said, the sisters are telling me to approach you. They said, let's give it a try.
So how many years did you have to go through studying?
Before I entered, I had already 1 year of college. And I was, because I studied in a Chinese school, so I was in commerce. And I love numbers. And then that year I went to education, the first semester, because they said that I will study education, because the primary apostolate of the congregation was teaching. So I studied education. The second semester I studied pre-med already.
Oh, so you just kept studying and studying. That's 4 years of pre-med,
Yes.
4 years of proper,
Yes.
1 year of internship,
Yes.
4 years of residency, right? Or 2?
3 years.
3 years. 3 years of residency. And so now you are a licensed medical doctor?
Yes.
Okay.
I am a licensed medical doctor. I specialize in internal medicine.
Oh, so
Because
you're
my
an
residency
internist.
was in internal medicine.
Any subspecialization?
No, I did not go anymore to subspecialization because Mother General was telling me, you've been studying for so long a time. You better come home and serve. So I went back to Iloilo. I served the poor. There's the St. Martin Clinic that we take care of the poor. And I served the sisters and also the family of the sisters.
You said you came back. Where did you study?
Because I studied in the University of Santo Tomas.
UST.
I graduated there and I came back to Iloilo to serve the poor, the sisters, and the family of the sisters.
Tell us about your experiences as a doctor who's wearing a habit.
There was a patient, my Sister Epi would always remind me, don't be callous when you are practicing medicine. No? But for me, Sister Epi always told me to be present to every patient, to feel their pain. No? In fact, there was a woman at that time. It was very, very strict. No, when you commit, when you do abortion, the hospitals would close on you. No, that it was very strict. But then at that time, UST opened herself because the woman was already on the verge of sepsis. That is the poisoning of the blood. No? So I was sitting in front of the woman, and I was crying. No? And then I was just sitting down there, and then I told her, Sabi ko, uh, I'm just very, very grateful, no, na I'm here to take care of you. Because I told her, had my mother aborted me, I will not be here to take care of you.
Yes, that's a fact.
So that's, I was crying, and I think I touched the heart of the woman. She says she promised never to abort her kid again.
So what happened to the woman and the baby?
And the baby already was aborted, and then she was already in sepsis, I mean to say blood poisoning, but we were able to save that woman. But I feel our sharing that night, when I was sitting down beside her and taking care of her, she was thinking and crying and crying.
Your prayers must have helped a lot.
You know, the problem with people who are committing abortion is that during the time that they do abortion, it's the aftermath or the after effect that they feel, no? What is the aftermath? The consciences are talking to them, no? And it's an endless crying spree. It is an endless painful feeling that why have I done it?
Especially when they see little children.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, when they hear the cry of children. And sister, what's your most interesting case so far besides that woman?
My interesting case is that we have plenty of interesting cases in that when we take care of the people, no, when we take care of them, we just are present to them, no? And sometimes I don't like also people dying, and I said, Lord, I just take care of them, no? And so in the process you develop a good relationship with the relatives, no? And then their pain becomes your pain, no? And you journey with them. And when I was in the Philippine Heart Center, I was there also for a rotation, and I was talking to the family of the woman, and she said, you know, sister, I said, what happens after the cabbage? That's the bypass, no? What happens after that? I want to go home, she said. And then we were talking. I did not know that going home was going home up there. And she did not know also. She was just saying that after this, I'll be back to my family. I want to go home. So you don't know, no? There's always that unknown in medicine. And it's very precious that you don't know that's the last time that you are going to meet the person.
So was she able to receive the sacraments, the anointing of the sick?
Before every operation, we would ask the priest to drop by and give the healing prayers to them.
How I wish all hospitals would do that, because not all hospitals do that.
Because I was there in Heart Center at that time because of the clinical pastoral education. And it is the duty of the priest and the sisters to see the patients, to journey with them in their fears, no? And to pray with them before the supposedly operation.
So now it's time of COVID. So where do you practice your profession?
So it's a COVID time, and so what happens is that I see the sisters, I see the people here at Regina Rica, our staff. I see them, the family of the staff. I see them, although we're very, very careful, no? But then more or less it's we wear masks. We wear also face shield, no? And we talk to them. And so I have medicines, no? Because we're taking care of K-friends. And what are K-friends, no? K-friends are the cariton, the people who are pushing the cariton. No?
The ones who live in a cart, in
yeah,
the street.
They live in the cart. They live in the street, we call calzada. They live in a cart, we call cariton. And they make the living in the push cart, which we call cariton. That was in Quezon City. But then after during COVID times, we were told not to see them because the people could not gather together. And so the barangay is always after us if we open our doors for these people. So what happened is all the sisters went to Regina Rica, no? And we get in touch with the Cariton at one-to-one basis. The people in the convent would give them food, give them rice, no? But many times here at Regina Rica, what happened is that, I don't know, through the prayers of Sister Epi, there was somebody who donated chickens. And so we gave chickens to a lot of people because people were hungry, no?
True.
Yeah. And then
Even until now, sister,
he
a lot
donated
of people
eggs,
are
no?
hungry, yes.
Yeah, he donated the eggs, no? And then sister has, we bought vegetables from the local farmers, no? And then gave it to the people. That was the time, 2020, when
Yeah,
people,
last year.
yeah, last year, when people really needed food because everything was closed.
Yes. And sister, in your experiences through all of these, you know, how has it helped you grow as a nun?
It's beautiful to accompany people, no? Because we follow Jesus, the friend of the poor and the healer of the broken. So it's really, really very appropriate, no? And being in the present moment with each and every person who is sick, with each and every person who needs help, it does really deepen, no? That's why I am so touched with that Servire et Amore na song, no? Because for me, everything for me is service and love.
Sister, let's go to the time when you were still young.
Yes.
I have interesting questions for you.
Okay.
Did you ever fall in love? Did you have crushes?
When I was 6 years old, I have a neighbor. And I love to be seated beside him. Maybe I had a crush on him. But then after several weeks, his mother transferred him to American school. And I was left in Iloilo Normal Laboratory School, which is now the West Visayas State University.
So did you experience heartbreak early that time?
I lost him. Although he was our neighbor, but then the mere fact that I was seated beside him always. I don't know why I love to sit beside him.
Wow, crush, no? Puppy love. So later on in your teenage or even early adult years, did you still fall in love or have a crush?
In my teenage years, my father asked me to study karate and judo karate.
Really? So until now, can you still do it?
Just a little. No? But then my judo and karate instructor fell in love with me.
Wow.
No? And then but what happens is my father does not say anything. But what he did is that he would fetch me from the karate area and bring me home. And from home, when I need to do the karate session, he will bring me there. So there was no opportunity.
Pantay sarado. He really guarded over his daughter. So, when did you start feeling that you wanted or you were being led to be a nun?
When I was small, kasi the nuns, no, the Dominican sisters of Molo, no, the Dominican sisters of Holy Rosary, they were mendicants in a way. So they go to places, no? And one of my father's cousin was a nun, and she would go to him every month to ask for rice. And he would joke to her, sabi niya, why don't you plant rice? And rather than asking rice, but he will give her rice. And that nun would play with me. And so there was one time in my life that I was maybe 10 years old. And I said, you know, Papa, when I grow up, I was putting towel, no, on my head. I like to be like this. And then I saw also postulants singing caroling, no, during December time. And I was so attracted to them. But then he scolded me. So to appease his anger, I said, no, I'll become Superman na lang. So later on, when I was fourth year high school, you know this Bishop of Cebu, he was the companion of Sister Epi, Jose Palma. He was still a seminarian. There was another seminarian, Sister Epi and Sister Leandra came to Santa Maria School, and they gathered all the people, all the children who were studying in Chinese school, no? And while we were having catechesis, I saw Sister Epi as very, very motherly. No? I said, then I was reminded of my dream to become a sister. So I said, I want to go to your convent. I want to see your convent. And soon as, lucky enough, that after the catechesis classes, Sister Epi brought us to the convent. And I befriended the Mother General, the superiors, the sisters. Then I saw them playing volleyball. No, there's, oh yeah. So every weekend I would try to visit them. So then later on I said to my mama, because my papa died already, even if my papa were alive, I will never become a sister because he never wants, di ba? He does not want me to wear that towel, no, on my head. So he just died, and then my mama was saying, your papa just died, and you're going to enter the convent. But the pool of my heart was, it was so joyful to go to the convent. Then my mama said, you don't even know how to work. How will you go to the convent? But I said, I don't know, but I just love to enter the convent. Yeah. So they gave me a chance, no? They gave me, because they said, in 2 weeks' time I will go out because I don't know how to work. But until now, I'm in the convent. I enjoy the convent.
Yeah,
the
you look
convent
very happy.
And the convent has become my family, no? So I don't have difficulty even with my superiors because I treat them as parents, and it's just so happy. I'm just so happy to be with the sisters. That's why I said when I do, I have to finish my work because when I'm with the sisters, I like to talk and talk and talk with them.
You never entertained at any point about getting married or dreaming about it?
When I was a temporary professor, we had manito, manita. And it happened that the priest was my manito. And he would write me letters, no? And I would keep the letters. And I would read them 5 times a day. And then, and then I would keep them. And then my sisters were wondering, no, how come na? Then he gave me relics, and I would wear the relics also. And the sister, I was talking to the sister, and then he would visit me to the school. And the sisters were alarmed, no, my companions, no. So they would keep me, and they would be the ones to face the priest. Then later on, I told Sister Epi, maybe it was not obvious to me, but I love talking about him. And Sister Epi said, did you tell about the priest to Mother General? I said, no. So sabi niya, why don't you go to Mother General and talk to her? So I went to Mother General. You know, I have this priest, sabi ko, who gave me letters, and until now, I have the letters kept. And I keep on reading the letters, sabi ko, 5 times a day. So we have 7 days na manito-manito. So I have 35 letters with me, no? And I keep them, on reading, 7 letters para with me. And I keep on reading the letters, and I love to read the letters. Then sabi Mother General, did he give you something? Yeah, I said, the relic, it's with me. Do you like to donate the relic, sabi niya, to the church? Because we had a reliquia where we put the relics, no? And I said, yeah, I gave it also to her. So I said, yeah, looking back, if you're just open to your superiors and you just follow them, even that you will be saved from. Because when I went home, I made stories to my mama. I said, are you marrying a priest? Sabi, it's like, I really don't know.
I think you were a little in love with him, but your love for God was more.
Yeah. And I love the community. The community is the best gift that God has gifted me.
I remember teaching a seminary, and he's now a priest.
Yeah.
And, you know, basically, my students before would just practice their English with me. These are Koreans and Vietnamese and all. And so, to make them open up, we go to, love life and all that. And he said that, yeah, my ex-girlfriend emailed me. So how do you feel? I asked him. I still love her, but I love God more. And that really stuck with me, So it's maybe a case like that with you. You fell a little in love, but you love God more.
But the sisters also helped me. The sisters also helped me. They were always with me. They became my protective barrier.
How many years have you been a nun?
I think I entered 1971, I professed
So
1974.
50?
So I don't know,
47.
maybe a few more years, I'll be 50 years.
Okay. So, matagal na rin, no? Yeah. And when I first met you, you probably didn't remember me then. You were still in this tiny building, Pura building in Quezon
Yes,
City.
55 scouts.
And you had
yeah.
like 2 floors only, you were still renting.
Yes.
And I remember seeing you during the contemplative sit-in. And matagal na nga. It's been a long time because my children are now 30 years old. So you must have been a nun more than 30 years.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm nearing my 50 years.
Uh-huh. So it must be a good, grand celebration, golden.
In God's time.
Yeah, in God's time. You know, it's amazing how this place has grown, how, you know, with your vision. Regina Rica was just a barren mountain before.
Yes.
Yes, and you know, you and your sister, especially Sister Epi, are being really used by the Lord in order to develop this into a pilgrimage site. And it is already a pilgrimage site, a beautiful one, if I may add.
We never thought of it as a pilgrimage site. So what Sister Epi was telling our sisters is that we were becoming plenty in the new place, like in 70 Scout Fernandez. And she said that we need to move on to maybe a hectare or 2 hectare land.
5 hectares. Am I correct?
Just a few hectares because we need to expand. But then this place, this is the 13th area that she came, and this was 13.5 hectares. And we were telling her, where will we look for the money to pay for a 13.5 hectare land? But then contemplative prayer gives you the gift of faith. Contemplative prayer gives you the gift of, you just go down deep, no? And allow God to be God in you.
And you are on Facebook, live streaming for your contemplative sit-in.
Yes,
That's
yes.
every Tuesday and Thursday?
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
Yes.
In the afternoon at 2 o'clock, right?
2:30 to 5:30.
2:30 to 5:30. So all they have to do is to type in at Facebook, Regina Rica, am I right?
Yes, they can type
Yeah.
it.
Regina Rica, then they can live stream and join the contemplative sit-in.
Yes.
And yes, it helps because I've tried it a few times.
Yes. You know the prayer of silence, you know the prayer of stillness. If you join the sisters in prayer, instead of doing, you know, the mind does not like multitasking. And the mind does not like also the cell phone because it disturbs the mind. No? When you do one thing at a time and you sit with the sisters, the power of that silent prayer, it's really tremendous because it helps a lot of people. They can feel the stillness that we feel. And we feel, we pray, imagine, we don't talk to each other, but the stillness helps us to sit, to do contemplative prayer for 2 hours. We don't think of our problems. We don't worry about anything. We just focus. When God said, be still and know that I am God.
Silence is the language of the Lord,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And thank you very much, Sister MENCHI, for being with us today. And hopefully another session, another episode.
Sure, sure.
And thank you, viewers. Thank you for being with us. We hope that you continue watching the episodes of Emmanuel TV Network. I am Socky Garcia-Casimiro.